name is Vera Stenhouse.
My name is Bijane Kareem.
So I've been affiliated with Rethinking Schools for a period of time, mostly as a subscriber to their resources and at conferences when they would do their booths and things like that. And I recognized after a period of time doing a couple of those sessions that people would come up to me or come to the booth asking for resources and more resources on science and science-related curriculum. And so from that, having heard it quite a few times, but also knowing that they are a mighty but also small cluster of individuals, that if I was going to present this as a way to expand what they're doing, that it would also help if I brought some kind of support to that. So I just asked, would it be possible, has this been done before, to perhaps do a committee or some kind of group that could help Rethinking Schools increase the amount of science submissions that they were getting on a regular basis.
I was introduced to Rethinking Schools from Vera, received the invitation, and it sounded like a much needed committee to develop. And so what we've been able to accomplish over the past, has it been 2 years, Vera?
Over 2 years.
Yeah, over the past 2 years is to, one, put out a call and invite science educators to write and share about their story and their experiences in the classroom with students in terms of science, social justice, equity, culturally responsive practices. And throughout that process, through reading the articles, we noticed that teachers really don't have time to stop and write and share, what they've been able to accomplish. So from that, we were thinking about what are some ways we can break through that particular barrier. And so the idea of creating a science educator writing retreat was born. And so BK International Education Consultancy, which I'm the executive director of, is in full support of science education, of teachers' professional learning development, partnership development, and it was a natural fit for us to support Rethinking Schools, science writing, workshop for educators, as well as just provide that space for educators to stop, reflect, and think about creative ways that they want to move forward in the fall that maybe they typically don't get the chance to think about with like-minded individuals.
And I think one of the other reasons why we've talked about the work as well is the sustainability. And that's the other piece that comes up for me just independently as a consultant or a support. I really call myself a facilitator. Just sort of facilitating experiences, but that sustained work and attention. So it doesn't have to be every day, but can we do something consistently that keeps them or keeps us reconnected and energized? I keep using those words, but a way that we continue to fill those pieces that they don't often get filled for themselves because they're so busy giving in the work, right? And so that sustained or concentrated, or I guess that experience of just knowing that you have a place and a space to come back to. And that's one of the things that we used to talk a lot about with Georgia Name, just hold the space. It could be 1, it could be 10, it could be however, but you hold the space, you continue to hold the space so that people do get used to it, or at least know that even psychologically they know there's a space, even if they're not always able to physically participate, but it's always there as part of a knowledge, whether it's the emotional, the physical, or the thinking part that they need, it's always there for them.
I would say for me, in terms of highlights, one, I really got the sense that the teachers who came out during their weekend for a Saturday and a Sunday were committed to attending, to writing. I felt like they had a space to connect with other people, to bounce ideas off of. I also felt like it was a good place for them to just get started. Just get started, because as educators, we sometimes we can be wrapped up in the idea, oh yeah, I want to do this and this and this and this and this. And so having these multiple ideas, and it can be daunting and overwhelming, and not actually having an entry point to just get started. Just take one idea and just start from there. And it doesn't mean that you're negating the other wonderful ideas that you're having, but you can just move forward with this one piece and just tackle one piece at a time.
And the other thing, I think I said it earlier about a highlight, is again setting up space and setting up opportunity for people to feel like they're productive, to feel like they can really bring their full selves to the experience. And so if you're fully present, I always think that that's a really good sign.
I think this is a good space and a good opportunity from the feedback that we received today, that sounds like they're interested in more of these types of settings.